Yes, and it's also a science breakthrough. I mean, a lot of this are small details.
I think the most important one is here. Because if you're just like, oh, I don't care about the scientific breakthrough, but do you care about your home being non-polluting? Yes, you do.
Right. This is why it's important, right? Like, why are we reading about it? Because this could be alternate energy. Why are we reading about it? Because it's also a major science breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things that really we need to focus on when we're reading this, because if you're like, okay, maybe you're not into science. Maybe you really haven't paid attention to what nuclear, you don't really understand what nuclear fusion is. So why does it matter why you're reading this? Well, this is why, again, we analyze and you read slowly and carefully. All right, so what is being described here? We know it's about what? Right, it's describing the nuclear fusion process, right? Okay. What is really being repeated here? What's sort of the main idea that we're learning here? Well, that's what they're describing, nuclear fusion. But what's really the main topic in this paragraph? What is their focus? What is the writer wanting to tell you? Not really here. This is background information. That's the heading. So you might say, how does fusion fuel the sun? Yeah, because what do you see repeating here, right? Atoms? What else? Where else do you see atoms on here? Do you see it there? Where else do they mention atoms? Well, that's more of an element. But those two are repeated. What else? Where else do you see atoms? There's 3 places. 3. You found that 3rd place?
Not yet.
It's implied. It's hidden. Read the first sentence again.
Oh.
There you go.
More of an invisible one.
But again, see how easy it would be to say, oh, this is about fusion. But really what the author is telling us, it's giving us background on how fusion happens in the sun.
Atoms.
What is the process, right? What is involved in the process? What are the ingredients for fusion? So what would you do? And it might be easier for you just to discuss it. What would you do if you were teaching this to somebody? If you were tutoring somebody in chemistry, how would you help explain this to them?
I'd just be like, yellow is proton, red is neutron, and this yellow talks about protons, red is neutron.
Okay, that's good, right. So you notice that there's the 2 halves of paragraph, right? First half talks about, very good, right? That would work. And again, this is when we say, okay, what is this focusing on? If we focus on the first paragraph, it talks about protons, and we do see it's talking about neutrons in the last one. So again, it's describing 2 different things. So this is, again, if I was teaching this in class, I would go ahead and include the formula, the element, right? And of course, here we have the static version of them showing. If you just focus on the protons, just focus on the neutrons. But if you really wanted to see, okay, how do we look at each of them? Thank you for the lines. Yes, that's exactly what I would do. Because I think that this helps even more to give a better understanding for somebody who might not understand much about chemistry. So I call these double bubble. I like these much better than Venn diagrams.
I call it a triple.
Because whenever I drew a Venn diagram in my notes, the middle section was always too tiny to write anything in.
I call it a triple bubble.
Triple, okay.
Like, this is unnatural because in nature, if it's hot, it's gonna be hot. So unless it's like 5 p.m. and it's almost gonna be nighttime and the temperature suddenly changes from hot to cold. Otherwise, the temperature is just gonna stay like that. You can't just be like, oh, right now I'm hot and then I'm suddenly cold.
But she's talking about she was outside in the heat, and then she goes inside, and then she feels a cool breeze on you, and it was like, where's that breeze coming from? Because she was just outside, and it was hot. So how is this wind catcher that brings in air from outside colder, right? Like, that seems shocking. I know I've walked in sometimes.
I've walked in a mall, and then there was like a cold breeze. Although that's probably because of the AC, not the wind catcher. There's probably no wind catcher.
But I'm just talking about even times that you've just noticed it, right? That it was enough of a difference that you could say, oh, wow, it's cool in here. Oh, wow, it's hot in here.
There's this year's winter coming very soon and being very cold count.
Yes,
I definitely feel that.
It does. It does, because like I noticed, okay, so in Asia, it's very typical for people to keep their heat low and to wear like jackets and vests in the house, right?
Yeah.
In United States and Europe, it is not.
Really?
Like my husband thinks he should wear shorts and a t-shirt all year round. Yes.
Okay, I cannot do that at all.
Right. No, neither can I. So I grew up in New York, where of course it gets colder in winter, and I like have a bathrobe. I wear a sweatshirt in the winter, or sweaters and heavy socks. You know, you dress for the temperature. Well, I keep the air temperature in our house in winter low, especially now because it's getting more expensive. And if you're cold, put on a sweatshirt, is my opinion. And it's always interesting how when we come from my bedroom, like I said, that's always